Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh, here we go. This is Scare Talk. I'm Danny, and I'm here with a bone-jarring Joel.
Oh man. Hey guys, what's up? I like the name.
Yeah.
And your little delay there in the beginning.
I kind of forgot what I was gonna say, so I had to buy some time there.
Oh man.
So yeah, Joel is bone jarring because you're also kind of bad to the bone.
That is right. That is true. I hear that all the time.
All because we're going to talk about the 2015 film Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
This is
the Western horror.
Yeah, a little Western action. So this is my pick. At the end of this episode, we will find out what Joel's next pick is, what he's going to subject me to for for the next episode of our picks. So before we get too far into anything, go find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Truth Social. And we're also on YouTube. You can follow us there and give us a review, give us a comment, let us know what you think. Let us know what movies you want us to review, and we will do that. We can also do top 5, top 10, stuff like that.
Those lists are fun to do. I like those.
Yeah, we haven't done one of those in a little bit, so
we haven't. We're running out of stuff to do top 5s of.
Right.
Top 5 and 10s.
Yeah. So. Okay, let's get into the Bone. Joel, who was in it?
Tomahawk. All right, so this one stars Kurt Russell. He was in Vanilla Sky.
Okay, that's not a movie I think of when I think of Kurt Russell, but okay.
That's a lot of people know who Kurt Russell is, so I want to.
Okay,
I got to put at least one movie in there that people are like, I didn't know he was in that, kind of thing. So
he's definitely in it.
The Thing. He is, yeah, he definitely is. The Thing, which is one of his most memorable ones. One of my favorite sports movies, Miracle.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
And The Fox and the Hound.
Oh my gosh!
Everyone knows who Kurt Russell is. It's not like.
Yeah. He's also in Tombstone and Escape from New York and Escape from LA.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
But those are, the most obvious ones. Besides, I did put The Thing on here. So
yeah.
And then we've got Patrick Wilson. He is in the first 2 Insidious movies, and he will be in the 5th Insidious movie whenever that one comes out. I think it has a release date of July of next year.
Yeah.
And he's also directing that one too.
Right.
And he's in The Conjuring 1 through 3.
Yep.
He's in Watchmen, and he was in Lakeview Terrace.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Matthew Fox. He was in 142 episodes of Party of Five way back in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think he was the older brother, so I think he was in the entire series.
Yeah.
He was in Smokin' Aces,
Okay.
which I completely forgot about when I was looking through this. I was like, oh, okay, nice. He was in World War Z, and most famously, I would imagine, he was in 117 episodes of Lost.
Yep.
Most recently, well, not. Recently. Lost. That show ended like not that long ago, like 10 years ago or something.
He hasn't done anything in 10 years.
I mean, not really. Like, well, World War Z was before that, I guess, but no.
Yeah, he doesn't do too much.
No. I mean, he's got his Party of Five money. He doesn't have to really do a whole lot, and his Lost money.
And his Bone Tomahawk money.
Oh, yeah, obviously that one, too. And this was written and directed by S. Craig Zoller. This guy is interesting because I actually own... He's directed 3 movies, and I own all 3 of them.
Oh.
And I've only ever watched Bone Tomahawk. I've just heard that the other movies were like really good, so I was like, it's pretty cheap on demand, so I'll just buy it.
Okay.
But he wrote Brawl in Cell Block 99, which is a Vince Vaughn movie.
Oh yeah.
Though it's one that I have that I heard was pretty brutal. I just haven't watched it yet. Dragged Across Concrete, which is the other one.
Oh yeah, I heard that was
also
good.
has Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. And then he wrote Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, which I don't own that one, so I haven't even seen that one.
Okay.
And he's directed Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete. So he's directed 3 movies. And I've heard really good things about the other 2. So
okay.
I feel like he's going to be 3 for 3, possibly, on his movies. So.
All right.
We'll see.
So the plot here, in the dying days of the Old West, an elderly sheriff and his posse set out to rescue their town's doctor from cannibalistic cave dwellers.
Troglodytes.
Yeah.
As the movie pointed out.
Yep. Okay, so this one. I had been wanting to watch this for quite a while. I heard it was pretty crazy. But it was a lot more of like a straightforward Western than I was expecting. Yeah. It's a Western movie. I mean, it's a horror movie.
Hour of the movie. Yeah.
As far as the horror, that's, toward the end, but it's a Western first, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And a Western with Kurt Russell. That's awesome.
Well, Tombstone.
Yeah.
So
Wyatt
Earp. He can do it. Yeah. Was he? Yeah.
He was Wyatt Earp in Tombstone, wasn't he?
I thought that was Kevin Costner was Wyatt. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think he was.
I think he played.
It's been
Wyatt
years since
Earp.
the one.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not a stranger to westerns.
No.
And he's not a stranger to horror with The Thing. So
right.
Put them both together, and I think people can. I think it's more like action. The escape movies.
Yeah, it's more action.
Have some like
sci-fi
horror themes to them, but horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
So how do you like westerns? Like, do you like them? Do you think they're boring?
So
I mean, a lot of people, it's not for everybody, for sure.
Yeah. The
genre.
So I don't know. I like Tombstone. And I liked 310 to Yuma. I liked that one. I don't know if you can consider it a Western. Yeah, I think so. Like Hateful Eight. I really liked that.
Yeah.
He
was also in that.
Yeah, he was in that. I think you have to have strong actors with good characters. Like a Doc Holliday or a Wyatt Earp or the 310 to Yuma. You had oh my gosh, I'm blanking on who
Kurt
was
Russell
in that.
and Christian Bale.
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're, they played those parts really well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, a handful of Westerns that I like. But then like the
True Grit.
oh yeah, True Grit. Loved
Yeah.
that one. But then like the old like John Wayne and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's not for me.
Clint Eastwood back in the day.
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more of the modern Westerns, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
From the 90s on is kind of more my thing. But I really liked this one, even without the horror elements toward the end. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it had a good story. Like, it's just, people were taken and they're going on a adventure to get them back. Like, it didn't have to be a horror movie.
Yeah,
it just happened to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
The people that took them just happened to be cannibalistic monsters.
Yeah.
Not like actual monsters. They were humans. But,
they seemed like monsters.
Yeah.
Especially when they were like yelling out and stuff. I was like, whoa.
Oh, that was creepy. I don't know how they did that.
How does that come out of your body?
Yeah. He like took. There was a scene in that movie where, Patrick Wilson kills one of them, and was like, "Is that jewelry? Like it's like around his neck or whatever."
Yeah.
And so he's like digging into his neck.
Yeah.
And he like pulls out what they're using to
right
do that. Like, how, was that inserted into you? Like, how does that get?
Yeah. It's like,
how is this device put into your vocals? Like, that's into your throat. Like, that was weird, but like,
yeah.
Okay, at least it makes more sense than them actually making that sound themselves, because it's not a sound that humans can make.
Yeah.
But it's just weird how it got into his throat, like all of their throats. Yeah. In the first place. But
Richard Jenkins is also in it.
Yeah.
I liked his character.
Yeah. He I'm pretty sure his character is supposed to be much older than he actually is in real life.
Yeah.
I don't think he's at that age where I'm pretty sure that wasn't Richard Jenkins that was like doing all that. That was the old character that he was playing, which he did really well. Like the whole shaky, when he's like picking up the rifle and his like hands shaking and just the way he was talking. Like, I saw him in Stepdad not too long before this movie, and he was in Cabin in the Woods again, just a few years before this movie came out. So he didn't age that much.
No,
I think it's So I like this character a lot.
Yeah, he was funny.
Did I said Step Brothers, right?
You said Stepdad.
Step Brothers. That's what I thought that I said. I meant Step Brothers.
Yeah, he was the dad in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
He was a stepdad.
I mean, he was a stepdad, but I had to like pause for a second. I was like, I said Step Brothers, right? And no, I didn't. Okay. I meant Step Brothers.
Yeah. He was funny. He had a bunch of one-liners throughout it. Him and Matthew Fox character were kind of funny together.
Yeah.
And it was Kurt Russell. He's just kind of a badass. He feels like he belongs in the Wild West.
Yeah.
He just kind of has that look and the the way he talks and it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of Patrick Wilson in a Western, but it worked.
He worked. Yeah. I felt bad for his character. I don't know. Did they explain what happened to his character, to
his leg?
Because his leg in that movie at all.
I don't remember.
I don't remember them talking about that.
Yeah,
like his character just. had a leg that was messed up the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
I want to say he got shot in the leg. I want to say that's what happened. Because because she was having to, like, clean his wound and, like, replace the gauze and everything. So I think he got shot or, like, stabbed in the leg or something.
Mm-hmm. It just didn't show that happened off screen before the movie started.
Yeah. So it's his wife who gets taken when she's trying to help David Arquette.
Yeah.
It was so random.
That was weird. He did a good job for, what little he actually had to do in this movie.
Yeah.
He really isn't in the movie a whole lot. And
I thought it was kind of funny to hear him trying to talk like this badass Western guy, Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't take David Arquette too seriously. So it was funny. His little conversation with Kurt Russell at the bar was kind of funny to know, okay, that's David Arquette. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I have subtitles on when I watch movies.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like stabbing and like squishy noises in this movie. It actually says like squelching or like just like in the actual subtitles itself, and it's like, okay, well, that's all right. So that's how the movie opens up.
Yeah.
Was David Arquette like stabbing into somebody and just like the noises and it was a lot to start out with.
Right.
It's like that was before we even see what's going on. We just like hear stabbing and like
squishing.
I think he's like squishing and all that. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we're getting into. All right.
Yeah.
This is the type of movie here. So I mean, yeah, it was a very violent movie at times, and having subtitles kind of made it seem a little bit worse just because of every single thing that would happen. Like it would give you a description of what was going on. Like, thanks.
Bone crunching and
yeah. It would say crunching or squishy. Like, okay.
Smashed brains. That's funny. So yeah, and then so his wife is taken, and then Kurt Russell and the Richard Jenkins. What is he considered? Like the assistant sheriff, or like he has some funny title.
Assistant, or it's like old deputy, or it's something where it doesn't feel like he's second in command.
No, it's like a funny title.
It just doesn't. Yeah. Like, I don't know who's second in command here, but it's not you.
And Matthew Fox is like he's kind of like a jerk.
Rich. He's
he's
very smug.
Yeah, he's kind of smug, kind of a jerk, and he doesn't like Indians from what we gather. And so he
actually was very vocal about the fact that he killed more than all of them combined. Cool, man.
So he's, not happy with these people for taking, the people in his town. And they have like an Indian dude who like told them like, okay, this must be, this tribe, they live in the caves, and they're not one of us, but yeah. So he's going there just, I guess, because he doesn't like them. So so he wants to kill them. And so they're just kind of going, from their little town to these caves, and it takes a few days to get there, and it's the different people they run into along the way, people trying to rob them and stuff. And
well, we don't really know that though.
Yeah,
we didn't get
that's
a
true.
chance to really know if they're good guys or bad guys because something happens to them that I'm like, oh, I mean, okay,
Didn't waste any time.
I can kind of see it, but like, let's there's guns pointed at them. Let's give them a chance to like, But no.
No
chance.
No second chances there.
Not even a first chance. Like they were just.
And so then they finally get to the caves, and then the battle ensues, and it's pretty graphic, pretty violent. There's a scene where someone gets chopped in half.
Yeah.
Which was pretty violent and graphic.
It was, yeah. Well, he gets cut, and then they pull him apart.
Yeah.
In half. That's, to me, that's somehow worse than just being chopped in half. Like, they're actually pulling his.
Like at the seams.
It was. It was
apart.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was a very Terrifier type of moment right there.
Right.
Well, that was a longer scene in that movie, but
and I mean that's pretty much the movie. It's kind of just about their journey, and then the people that they end up fighting, and it's kind of like a survival movie, adventure western. And then you throw in these troglodytes who are basically like monsters, pretty much, and then you call it a horror film, I guess. So
I mean, cannibals. That's a pretty horrific thing to come across.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like if it wasn't for the cannibals and the screaming that they were able to do and all that, if it were just bad guys, that just kidnapped, some other outlaws or something, I feel like this movie would be way more seen and talked about in pop culture, but it's been kind of left to horror fans more so. And so I don't know. I just feel like that's an interesting choice to make for the writer, or I guess he was the director as well.
Yeah.
To kind of put this movie in that area rather than going for the more general population.
Yeah. I mean, especially since he hadn't at least directed a horror movie yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, this could have just been he's never directed a Western either, according to the movies that I looked up, but it could have been. He's pretty much putting two genres together that he's never directed before, which is kind of a cool thing to do. You don't see Western horrors very often, so it's kind of like a genre all on its own at this point. Like it's. Now you can say that there is a Western horror.
Yeah.
It's just like, you never really could say that before. So he kind of created his own little subgenre within the genre.
Yeah.
So it's just, because it's not a known subgenre, people don't know about this.
Yeah.
At this point, like the Western fans aren't fans of horror, and the horror fans aren't fans of Westerns, so it's like maybe that's
I don't know. It was just
really
it's an interesting choice to make the bad guys these like horror characters. Because the majority of the movie is a Western, and it's a really good story, really good Western. So you could have just went completely Western and had the battle, the shootout at the end. And it would have, I think, been probably a more successful movie, especially with the cast and everything.
Would you have watched it though?
See, I don't know.
Western.
I don't know if I would have watched it. But I'm just one person. I'm thinking more of like the general audience probably would have seen it more than with the choice that he made to go the horror route. So
And because, it wouldn't have had that horror feel to it, it could have been nominated for some awards at some point. Like
it was great acting and writing.
They don't nominate horror movies like ever. So, yeah.
Yeah, take out that last battle and change who those bad guys are, and it's a Western. It's a drama.
Yeah.
It's, it's just a good Western. So,
yeah.
Really interesting choice.
Yeah. As a Western, like I am a fan of Westerns. Like you, I'm a fan of the more modern Westerns. I really like Tombstone, 3 Tons of Yuma, True Grit. Django, I think, is even considered Western.
Yeah, Django. That's a good one.
Honestly, as a Western, this is probably like top 3 for me.
Yeah. I would agree. It's a great Western.
Yeah, it is.
It has a good, we were talking about with Sleepy Hollow, like the period pieces and stuff. Mm-hmm. It really puts you in the Wild Wild West, Yeah.
It
really...
Wild Wild West is a...
That's a Western.
A Western, yeah.
But yeah, it really puts you in that place and that time, and the way that they talk and the way they're dressed, and riding the horses, and the set and everything. Like it's really good. The scenery and all that.
Yeah.
So just that alone is impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they easily, like, for the last 15 minutes of the movie, easily could have had a different group of people that they were going after.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need to know, they didn't need to be cannibals.
Yeah,
it's just...
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, okay, it's just an interesting choice. It kind of, like, ruins your movie to a certain extent when it comes to the general population. You're limiting your audience with that. Yeah. Which I'm fine with. Like, whatever. Do what you do. And I liked it. But
as a fan of modern Westerns and horror, like, that was a good combination of the both.
Yeah. I dug it. It's just, I give him props for doing what he wanted to do, and not trying to just go for the general population. And props to the cast for wanting to be in the movie, even though that they probably know, okay, this isn't going to be as successful as it could be.
As it could be, yeah.
But, it's still a good movie. And
was it even in theaters? I don't remember hearing about this one in theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing the cover of it and thinking it looks like a straight-to-DVD Western. And I didn't know that Kurt Russell was in it or whatever. But yeah, I remember seeing it and thinking, okay, that looks like a generic Western that nobody cares about. And so that's why it took me so long to watch it. I feel like people have been talking about it online more so over the last couple of years.
Yeah, they definitely have been. And yeah, I didn't really know too much about it when it first came out. It was just honestly like in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I would say that people have been really talking this one up in our like horror our horror groups on Facebook. Like, Bone Tomahawk is a horror movie? What are you talking about? Why are you talking about this? This movie right now.
Yep.
This movie, oh wow, okay, that's pretty cool. It was shot in 21 days.
Oh, nice.
Shot in 3 weeks. I was looking at the box office type of a so the budget was less than $2 million.
Okay.
1,800,000, and it grossed $382,000.
Oh man. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh yeah. So as a full on Western, it probably would have made more money.
Yep. Especially with that cast.
Yeah.
It could have.
And at that budget,
really
like that's a horror movie budget right there. That's and you should have made 10 times that amount.
Yeah.
Man, that kind of sucks. That was the director's first movie. All the other 2 movies that he did were after that. So after that, he got Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson in his movies. It's like,
wow,
that's kind of weird that a movie that basically failed at the box office.
Yeah. Somebody.
Kurt Russell is a huge. Yeah, he has to. Like that's. There's no way. Like, oh yeah, I did Bone Tomahawk. You did what? Like, you're gonna get Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson in your movies? But yeah, like being a first movie, getting Kurt Russell in your movie, that's huge on its own. And then you've got like Patrick Wilson's a pretty big one too. Big in the horror genre for sure.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah. Yeah, that really sucks that it failed that bad. But I mean it's being talked about now more so. So I feel like it's one of those like cult classic movies, or it has potential to be a cult classic. So
I would say so. All right, so let's talk about some of the like fun facts here. So,
all right.
Matthew Fox said that he enjoyed making the movie more than any other film, and he always wanted to be in a Western. The final movie represents the first draft of the script.
The final movie represents.
Yeah.
So
the way it ended, I guess,
is the way it ended was what he originally wrote.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. The cave set in the last act of the movie was the same cave set used in Iron Man, where Tony Stark is held captive and constructs the Iron Man suit.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Nice. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's just
When the movie was officially announced in October 2012, Peter Sarsgaard and Jennifer Carpenter were set to play the outdoors, while Timothy Olyphant was going to play John Bruder.
All right. Jennifer Carpenter is also one that is in the other two of his movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's got to be friends with this guy or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
S. Craig Zoller, he wrote the script in 2007.
Wow. And this movie came out in February of 2016. So technically it's a 2016 movie. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like what? 9 years? 8 years. That's crazy.
They filmed this in Southern California.
I mean, it's a lot of deserted areas in Southern California. So.
Yeah. It's actually the second David Arquette Western involving cannibalism. The first one was Ravenous.
Okay, so he's not. he's been in this genre too. All right, I didn't. Ravenous.
Yeah,
when did that one come out?
1999.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. So in between Screams 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
This was the last movie that Matthew Fox has been in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really doesn't need money. He's got all of his other shows he's probably still making money off of.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So, what is your grade?
So, I love the Western. I think it's the aspects, but it's more than aspects. It's basically a Western movie, and I love that it's also horror as well. Put them both together, and there's a chance it could not have worked,
Right?
As both Western and horror. So it's awesome that it did. So for all of that, and for the casting, it's like everyone did a really good job in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 89.
All right. Dang, that's good. I'm going 85.
Nice.
Yeah, we both really liked it. So
Yeah,
I'm glad I finally got around to it.
Yeah,
and
me too.
right after I watched it, I was like, okay, this is my pick. I know Joel hadn't seen it yet, so there you go.
I've had it for a while. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, and it's a slow movie, I would say. Just like any other.
I think most
Western.
Westerns are pretty slow.
Yeah,
for the most part.
So you have to kind of dedicate a couple of hours to it and stick with it. But yeah, if you're a Western fan, you'll like it.
Yeah,
as long as you don't mind a little bit of scary stuff at the end.
It gets pretty gory.
Yeah,
at scenes. I kind of wish they hadn't used the guns as often as they did. Being a horror movie, guns are kind of a lame tool to use to kill characters off.
Yeah.
And they use the guns for a good portion of the movie.
Yeah.
It is a Western too, so obviously you're going to have guns in there. But for the horror side of it, I kind of wish the characters had used something else.
Yeah.
Maybe knives or something.
Yeah.
It's just to make it more horror.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it was really good. Really well.
All right. Well, now we are at the point where you get to tell me what your pick is.
Yes, we are.
So what is it going to be?
So this one is going to be... I know I've talked about it before at some point.
Okay.
But it's called the Belko Experiment.
The Belko Experiment. All right.
Belko Experiment.
I think you did mention that once or twice before.
Yeah, it came out in 2016. So the same year that this movie came out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one that I want to discuss.
Okay.
And talk about. And I was the last time I talked to you about it, I don't even think you'd heard of this movie.
Yeah.
So, no, you probably haven't watched it yet. So.
Okay. I'm looking at it right now. All right.
James Gunn wrote the movie.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, I might have to watch that today.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
So that's my next pick.
Okay. I am down.
All right.
All right, well, that's been our episode on Bone Tomahawk. And,
Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah, look out for Belko Experiment once we get to that one. And let us know if you guys have any recommendations. And, we'll watch those and review those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, well, that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the troglodytes bite. They will eat you.
They will.